I'm ready anytime.
246 people already. All right. Hey, everybody. It is Mike with Riding in the Ozarks. Bagger Bader is here. Firecracker is around here somewhere. We are live at Renegade Harley-Davidson. We got a house full of people here, and they're getting ready to roll out some of the new motorcycles. I think we mostly have carryover models, unfortunately. The truck was supposed to show up today and unload something and didn't make it. And I'm sure Harley-Davidson has already heard about it, like from the top down, because we have a special guest here tonight. For those that don't know, Renegade Harley-Davidson is owned by Teddy Morse, who owns Destination Daytona. He happened to be in Missouri this week, so he's been at the dealership here for the launch tonight. So we watched the video together. I've been hanging out, talking with him, talking about Harley-Davidsons. He's seen some of this stuff already as an owner and stuff, so it's been really cool so far for this event.
Very cool.
Now, I'm going to flip the laptop around where I can kind of see so I can run the camera when these guys come in, so I'll know when to point at stuff for you.
Sweet. It sounds like there's quite a few people there. It sounds like they had a good turnout. That's good.
Well, let me loosen this up for you.
Nice.
So you can see we got bikes, we got people all over in here.
Sweet.
They had food and drinks, and they set chairs out, and we had a big TV out where they played the demonstration on the TV. So what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We got 300 people in here, Steve. They're just all dying to see your face and hear what you have to say.
I'm sure that's why they're all here. I mean, I can't blame them.
So did you watch the video from Harley?
I did. I watched it. I was trying to get set up for us too, so I didn't get to watch it quite as close as I hoped. From what I can see, the paint, they made up the fact that they didn't have anything new come out per se. They nailed the paint. The paint looks great.
Right, and what I think people have to remember here is that there's not a new model other than the CVO Street Glide ST. There are limiteds being brought back that haven't been there. There's been a huge change to the Trikes. For people who are in here, they haven't got to see my video yet, but I've got a video that went live at 6:30. We got to go see the Trikes, and I got to talk to the engineers. That'll be in the video that goes out tonight, and they did some amazing work on the new Trikes, not just like putting the Helix design on there, but the fact that they did a whole new rear suspension system, 68 pounds less sprung weight on the suspension, 2.3 inches of travel on the old models, 5 inches on the new, heated seats on the limiteds, things like that. They heated hand grip stock, highway peg stock. I mean, they really went all out on a lot of this in re-engineering. So they're getting this place all smoked up. I don't know if you guys can see that way back there, but that's really going to bring the bikes in. I think I hear something coming too.
Sweet.
So they're going to roll them up through here.
Teddy
Morse should be riding one of these bikes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Is that a Heritage?
There's my man, Teddy.
Yeah, rev it up, brother. Rev it up. Street Bob.
That's Teddy Morris on the Street Bob there, the owner of the dealership.
Cool. What a bonus.
They're going to leave room for Nick to get his in here somewhere.
I keep getting closer to my monitor, thinking I can see better.
This is Nick, who's the general manager here at Renegade Harley-Davidson.
Yep. We've been blessed to have Nick on before. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Teddy's an awesome guy too. Has anybody seen if Paul James is in here? Paul said, "Yo, Teddy." Firecracker, say hi to everybody. I'm gonna swing the camera around here.
Hello.
Poor Jay lost out on the Road King again.
So There's the Aurora Blue Denim Street Bob. Got a Vivid Black dress, Road Glide, and a Heritage. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the brand new models tonight.
Okay. I know they were hoping to do that, correct? They were hoping to have a couple new ones.
They had a truck that was supposed to deliver 2 new models tonight, and the truck didn't show up. They were supposed to have them unloaded today and here for this, and phone calls have been made, messages have been sent. So,
yeah.
I might try and bring this camera down a little bit where you guys can see me better, and we can talk some about the live. You have to lower the legs to bring the camera like down. Otherwise, you're just pointing at the top of my hat. Nobody wants to see my face anyway, so that might be better.
Tell Firecracker to get back in the picture. We need more people to tune in.
I got them all clipped.
But you got to bring them in or it won't go down. Hang on a second here. You got to do them one at a time like that. Okay, right there. Okay, now you have to tilt it up.
Well, your camera was blank. There we go. I got it.
Some got pulled out. There you go. You're back.
She's got it.
Got a hell of an elbow there.
Bring it that way just a hair. There we go. All right, so let's talk to everybody in the chat a little bit about what we saw. New trikes, new suspension, limiteds, fully dressed out. The CVO Street Glide ST, I got to see in person, so what I can really talk about most is the Street Glide ST and the trikes. I know a little bit about the limiteds, other than that, I've seen what everybody else saw in the videos.
And the Icon series.
Yeah, so what did you think about the 250th Liberty paint schemes?
I think it's great. I think it's awesome that they're, I mean, when you think about America, you got to think Harley-Davidson, Apple Pie, Chevrolet. I think it was not only just a wise decision.
Paul James said to say, hey, Teddy.
Hey,
he was in the chat, watched you walk in. He watched
the right thing to do.
Oh, yeah, very cool.
There's Teddy. So, hey, man, thanks for throwing this party at the dealership for people. It's awesome.
Dude, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for being here.
So, yeah, I mean, that's one thing I tell people about dealerships. They're not the same everywhere. People talk about how bad their dealership is, and I talk about how great mine is. They're always putting on events like this. There's soda here tonight. There's food here tonight provided by the dealership. They got me to come down here and hang out with them, and it's a pleasure to be here and do stuff like this and be around people that want to talk about motorcycles. And more dealerships need to be doing these kinds of events.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how many other dealerships had a party tonight like this. And then, and they don't just like have the bikes sitting here. I mean, they ride them in. They want to show them off. They're trying to make this entertaining for everybody. They're going that extra mile.
Yeah, people have a passion for Harley-Davidson. I mean, it's more than just, driving a car to and from work. It's a passion for most of us. Celebrate it. If I owned a dealership, I'd go all out every chance I could.
So, Brian said he'd like to see the Inferno color. It's in my video up close. I got to see the Inferno gray and Street Glide ST. I also got to see some trikes. Somebody's desperately trying to get a hold of me. I don't know why, but they'll have to wait.
Maybe you won the lottery.
Yeah, I mean,
buy a CVO ST.
Now I've got this dilemma. I mean, everybody knows I wanted the CVO Street Glide ST, but now we've got a Liberty Edition Street Glide.
Yeah.
I mean, I really thought that the way they did the Liberty Edition was great. It was not over the top. They didn't do a flag thing. They just used some red and white and blue here and there. Used the eagle. It looked really the right touch of Southern.
Yeah, because they could have went overboard and made it look tacky, but they didn't.
Steve Rides wants to know, where's the video of the new model? So there is a video on my YouTube channel that came out at 6:30 tonight of the trikes and the CVO Street Glide ST, because that's all I got to see in person. O'Brien thinks it's Harley calling to offer me a Street Glide ST even on trade. if you watch tonight's video, I have a message in there for Harley regarding the CVO Street Glide ST. So we'll see how that turns out. I didn't even ask to own one. I just asked for an extended demo, like a couple weeks, to go make some great content riding here in the Ozarks.
Yeah, but they're not going to want
Van
it
thinks
back
they're
after
calling
they
about
see
my
how.
extended.
They're not
Van
going
thinks they're calling
to
about my
see it.
extended warranty.
Yeah, they're not going to want to see that bike after they see all the scrapes you put on it, hitting those Missouri
They can
twists.
replace the floorboards.
Yeah,
We got Liberty Road here.
saddlebags,
She's late to the party.
muffler.
Liberty Charity's $20,000 even. That's not bad for a special paint scheme, special edition like that. It's not. It doesn't sound like they're going all out crazy on the pricing. Why is HD so opposed to independent rear suspension? NL Rider, there's actually a problem with the controllability and a safety aspect with independent rear suspension in a trike. And I think another YouTube channel, DK Customs, recently did a video about this. As mechanics, they may be able to better explain it. But basically, it's a safety and control issue. And this DD-on suspension rides more like independent suspension, but without that risk and better controllability. So that is the aspect of why they went with this. And this DD-on suspension, they didn't talk about it in their video. I talk about it in mine, but it is used by manufacturers like Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, Ferrari, and Lotus. So this is not something new that they just came up with. This is a high-end suspension technology that they have adapted, and they've done it in a way with the trike to make it stable and IRS Gold Wings on the road. Thousands of IRS Gold Wings on the road from the factory or kits, because that would make a difference to me. You see, there's Sparky saying I'm absolutely correct about the independent rear suspension. Just because there's 1,000 on the road doesn't mean there couldn't be a better solution. I mean, I'm not a engineer. I probably not the best person to explain it. If you watch my video, I will have a video in a few days coming out that is more of a behind the scenes, where me and Professional Monkey really have footage of the engineer explaining stuff about the suspension and everything in there. So, you know, I don't want to say the wrong thing here and be wrong. I try and be, really careful about being accurate about what I say. But check out my videos this week, the one tonight and the one later this week. And if you need a link to the one later this week, hit me up and I can shoot you a private link where you can see it before I put it out, probably Saturday morning on the behind the scenes one. But then we talked to the engineers about how and why they did the things they did. My thoughts on being no Road Glide in the Liberty collection. Well, I know it's probably not fair, but I'm a Street Glide guy, so I'm just glad there's a Street Glide in it. And maybe it's an intentional to push the Road Glide, to push more Street Glides than Road Glides, because Road Glides have traditionally outsold them the last few years. But I kind of was surprised that, there's no plain CVO Road Glide either, and no CVO Road Glide Limited. Street Glide's got all the love this year. Why? I don't know. I mean, personal opinion, I like the Street Glide better, but I've rode both. I like both. I get it. And maybe we'll get an Icon, Road Glide Ultra Limited kind of thing, or something, a Road Glide Limited CVO later or something else. It's hard to say. We know we're going to get a Sprint later in the year. I have not got a chance to look at the pricing on anything. Have you, Steve?
No. I'm on Harley's website, but I don't show that the new bikes have been put up yet.
They haven't? Okay. So
Not
I got here and we were staging stuff and getting ready, and then we watched this, and I haven't had a chance to cruise around the website, but I'm hearing the new bikes aren't on the website yet. People are asking about pricing. I'm going to go check.
Hey, Mike, while you're looking at that, I just noticed on that Liberty Edition Street Glide, it does not have inverted forks. If it had inverted forks, how tempted would that make your temptation even that much greater to pull the trigger? I
wonder if the website's a rollout. but I'm getting kind of spinning when it looks like the models are listed in the menu, but when I click on them, I'm not getting anywhere. And to answer your question, if it had inverted front forks as the Liberty Edition, I would absolutely be all over it. That's really what I wanted, was the inverted front forks, that suspension, the Brembo brakes. So if it had that with the Liberty Edition, I would be all over the top of it. I don't need some of the other, like the 121. It's great. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but I'd be okay with the 117 stage one. I'm getting really good numbers out of my 117. Yeah, when I click on stuff in the menu, it just spins. So I would say
go
it
ahead,
spins.
Mike.
So when they did this last time, they did a rolling rollout on the website across the nation, and some places were seeing it sooner than others. Somebody said I'm upset about something and it passed over.
Military
Somebody-
biker, that's good. How badass would that be?
Does the Liberty Edition play the Team America soundtrack when you fire it
Yeah, do
up?
you know what that song
I think
is?
yeah. So some people are seeing pricing and some of us are not. Some people are saying website crashed. On my end, it was just spinning and it's having a hard time loading. So I'd say it's overwhelmed, which means they probably had a good turnout or somebody's getting fired. One of the two. So Steve, out of the new stuff, anything that would entice you to trade up yet?
Well, okay, so in my last video, I said that maybe I heard that a Harley-Davidson might be coming out with a new bike that you could take out on the track. And now that I've seen what I've seen, I know that it's the new CVO Street Glide ST. That's the bike that I was kind of hearing about. I got to say that paint job, the little that I was able to catch, if they had that in a road glide, I would be very tempted.
The Liberty Edition?
No, the CVO ST Street
Oh,
Glide
the
paint.
Inferno
That
gray
was-
one?
Yeah, with the orange. If I could
With
get
the red
that in a
tint?
road glide. Because, you know,
Yeah,
you're
so
street
Harley-Davidson-
glide and I'm road glide.
Yeah, so Harley-Davidson said the website's going active. It's busy. They're working on it, so it's rolling across. So it's nice that Harley's tuned in tonight. Thanks, guys, for commenting and checking in with this.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the gray with the red flake in it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
so
we
they call
talked
that
about
Inferno
that.
gray.
Yeah, that thing looks nasty.
It's you could see some real close-ups of it in my video, so it looks
Okay.
really good. And then the Electric Coast, I want to see in person. That's more of a blue, but they were glazed over the new Road Glide 3 and talked about the Street Glide 3 and the Street Glide 3 Limited twice. So the Road Glide 3, of course, there's a little less to talk about because it doesn't get lowers. It doesn't have a trunk. It doesn't have some of those other features. It doesn't get a heated seat. So the Road Glide 3 got a little less love, but it's not really as much of a two-up touring bike as the Street Glide 3, and I think that's why. But yeah, you still get the BBT 117 and all the trikes, the Helix upgrades, the rear suspension upgrades. They did a little bit of body stuff, like different hand grips for the passenger back there, new different passenger floorboards. Of course, suspension is all new. The fenders are cut a little higher too. They show a little more of the tire than the previous models and stuff to make it more of a kind of a, I guess, me profile for like a muscle car where you see the tires on it, that kind of look. I'm not a design guy to use the right terminology. There's a tire look that they refer to that as in design. So
They must be selling a lot of trikes because, just in the last 4 or 5 years, they've come a long way on the design of those trikes.
So they started the trikes. Harley-Davidson's first factory trike was in 2009. Before that, everybody was doing kits and Lehman and stuff. And they, if you think about the trikes we had till now, were just their first generation, their first try. They haven't been doing that all that long. It's been 15 years since they've come out with a new one, but they have come out with a new one, and they've come out with it, I think, in a much better way. They took their time to try and do it right.
It looked like a motorcycle with a trike kit attached to it. Now it looks like a real motorcycle. It looks like it's all one piece.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get any enthusiast paint stuff tonight here. They were supposed to get one today, I think, on the truck, and it didn't show up. We were really hoping to have that to show you guys. Trust me, the dealership and Teddy are not any happier about the lack of delivery today than you guys are. They really wanted to have this for you, and phone calls have been made and texts have been sent. So that's all I can say.
Well, it's like your wedding day. I mean, you want everything to go perfect, but sometimes it just doesn't.
So that's an interesting comment from Harley-Davidson. I was kind of wondering. This enthusiast set are limited edition, but they're not numbered. Any chance you can tell us the number of, like, how many they're limited to? Are they limited to 250? Because somebody thought that'd be a cool thing to do.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, I want to see the electric coast, but the Inferno Gray looks good. I saw these in person in the middle of December, and then when I didn't edit my video until last weekend because if anything new came out, I wanted to be able to talk about it or add it, and I didn't want to have to redo everything. So I waited till the last minute to actually record it. So when I started making my video and going back through this footage and putting it on there and stuff, I was like, wow, exit to new beginnings. I do not like the brake lights and everything else. That's Exit Realty, new beginnings. Is that Exit Realty? Because I know an Exit Realty.
And the good thing on a brake light, I mean, that's an easy fix.
I mean, and everybody's got different tastes. You're not going to please everybody every time, but Jay said they would have numbered them if they were only 250. Well, let's see. I mean,
we got Harley listening. Let's see what they say.
I'm sure it'll come out at some point. They'll tell us how many they're limited to. Maybe that's the decision's not been made yet, but I'm here. The video was awesome. Well, thank you very much, sir. Maybe another enthusiast collection. There's a lot of emphasis about revealing on Route 66, hitting 100. Do not want to take the spotlight away from USA turning 250. Yeah, so the trikes were recorded in Joplin, and you saw some of this other one of those signs where Ben and them were with the Route 66. That's in Joplin. Bill is here tonight, and he lives right next to that sign. That's how close we are to where that was filmed at. That we have people here that live next to the sign. This happened right here in my backyard, and I didn't get invited. But I guess I'm not Corey West, so I kind of understand why they chose for Corey West to ride the ST. I like Corey; he's a great guy.
Hey, I would like to say though, I was excited to see that Harley-Davidson not only had an enthusiast on the show tonight, but they also incorporated dealership owners as well. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, I think the new CEO is also very dealership focused. We're going to see, like you haven't noticed, there's already started being some videos featuring some of the dealerships across the country and stuff on Harley's channel. I think that's good. They're giving them some love. They're acknowledging that they're a partner in this relationship, and they're trying to build on that. So what's up with the Sprint? Second half of 2026 is what we last heard from the previous CEO at the last financials. The financials are getting ready to happen again, so maybe I'll hear some more of that in the next couple of weeks and have something new. What's Paul got to say here? We got to ride the ST on the racetrack road that Corey West used to terrorize a teenager. Paul James, that road looked very familiar. I would like to know which road it is because it's my backyard here. I saw that footage and I'm like, that looks so familiar. I'm wondering which highway it is. And I'm pretty sure I rode it. 74, 76. Which one was it, Paul?
We probably both rode it many times.
Thanks for stopping in, taking care. Everybody stay safe. So yeah, I mean, oh, someone says the Heritage starts at 20 and they're asking 24,849 for the enthusiast version. Military biker thinks there's smoke coming from my pocket. Corey has sworn me to secrecy. Well, I'll just message Corey and ask him what road that was. He can tell me, but I'm pretty sure I've rode it. It looked very, very familiar. I even think I have footage of some of those same road signs. I haven't got to ride with Corey, but I have got to meet him a couple times, to hang out with him a little bit at BBB. We were at Pig Trail together and stuff. So
Yep.
nice
Yeah, he's a
paint,
good
but
guy.
why the BBT? Where did that comment go? Nice paint, but why put BBT and everything? So BBT is really going to shine with these heavier bikes like the Limiteds, where they're running 2 up, things like that. When you do like your traditional build, you get very specific power at a very specific range, in depending on what cam you have, things like that. BBT, as I understand it, as it is more variable, can provide a more broad range of power as needed throughout the range as you're pulling, depending on your weight, how hard the bike's pulling, those kinds of things. It's a more versatile thing. And you also think about it, I mean, I'm sure there are some people who hot rod their Limiteds up, but a lot of people who buy their Limiteds buy them, they put things on them like bars and seats, not necessarily 135s, and then they just go ride a ton of miles on them. And they think that with the Trike and the Limited, the VVT is really going to shine better for that particular rider. I hope I got that right. If not, Paul can correct me in the comments. Let's see here. I noticed the taillights as well. Non-limited models have the inserts. Why would Harley cheap out on the taillights? I do like the factory lower lights on the Limited though. I have not got to look at these taillights that everybody's talking about yet. I'm going to have to go check it out closer. A lot going on here tonight. Road Glide ST and Inferno price, same as 2025, 45,000. Well, so if somebody can get me the price for the Street Glide ST, I want to know if it's $1,000 cheaper, just like it is between the Road Glide and the Street Glide. So am I talking 44 or 45,000? What's my asking price for a kidney? Nobody wants my liver, so it's going to have to be a kidney.
Nobody wants your blood either.
I was going to go put a deposit down on the Heritage, but if they're not numbered, I'm sure there'll be plenty. Well, I think we'll have to find out what that limited edition means. Yeah, the citrus heat color, I mean, the oranges, the bikes, I mean, I'm a Street Glide guy. If I'm going to buy a bike, it's probably going to be a Street Glide. I've got used, Dynas and things I can ride for afternoon rides and stuff like that. But I got to have a good new touring bike. And, that's either going to be an ST or it's going to be a Liberty edition if I were to upgrade. And that's the problem. I got to figure out how to make that kind of money. I wondered if there was a notable difference between the 117 VVT and the regular model. I think, in like the Limiteds and the Trikes where they're heavier, you're going to see a bigger difference. Lighter bike, it might not be as noticeable. $44,995 on the Street Glide ST. There we go. I need 45 grand. Going once, going twice. Anybody make donations in the chat? Just remember, Harley's going to tax me a third, or the YouTube's going to tax me a third of whatever you donate. So I really need about 60 grand.
True.
So there is the BBT widens the power band, improves fuel efficiency, which I believe I said in my video. Fuel efficiency is another aspect of it. Oh, Firecracker says she gets the next new bike. She's coming. Are you in the Harley thing or my thing? Oh, there, I see it now. She's walking around the store here looking at stuff and commenting. Yeah, she gets the next new bike, so she's got to get hers paid off so she can buy a bike and I can buy a bike. We got to figure that out. Riding Ozarks, Harley-Davidson in the chat. You have made it, brother. Well, thank you. I am very privileged and blessed that they're working with me, that Renegade and Teddy Morse are working with me, and feel like I bring something to the table. And I'm just, hoping I'm bringing something to the table for all of you guys. That's what we try and do, is share this information to help you guys make good informed decisions about what's maybe right or why the company's making the changes or decisions that they make. Well, somebody's not going to like my comment on this, but I saw a chat comment go by. I'm trying to get back, talking about they're being too high and the everyday rider can't afford one.
Yeah.
I make everyday wages like everybody else. I don't have some enormous salary or anything else, and I bought a 2024. You just got to be willing to make whatever sacrifices you got to make. I don't drink Starbucks coffee. I don't eat out all the time. I eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch 2 or 3 days a week at least. I get 99-cent corn dogs from Sonic. I make sacrifices in other areas so that I can have a garage full of motorcycles, and my kids are grown. Sometimes you're not in that right spot in life. My kids are all grown. They're all out of the house. I don't have any kids to support. I don't have to pay for soccer cleats and band instruments and all those things anymore. So sometimes it depends where you are in life, and sometimes it depends on what you're willing to sacrifice to have those things.
Yeah, I rode a 2005 Road King for about 8-9 years because I had other bills. And then once all that kind of cleared out, I was able to upgrade to a 17 Road Glide. So it's just about where you're at in your life and how much you're willing to sacrifice to buy a new bike.
Let me get you an answer if somebody else here doesn't know that, but heated grips for the soft tails, but I would think so. I'm going to grab Nick real quick. You can do heated grips on soft tails, can't you?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked heated grips for soft tails. I said, I don't know if anybody's ever asked me that, but
I haven't had an official request, but I'm pretty sure we can. I'll go find out for sure.
Well, Nick's going to get us an answer on that for sure. So hang loose and we'll get that. By the way, Nick, Harley-Davidson's in our chat.
What's that?
Harley-Davidson's in our chat with us, answering questions too.
Welcome, Harley-Davidson, to the party.
Nick said, welcome to the party, Harley-Davidson. So let's see. I want everybody in the chat to tell me what they like the most.
Hold on. XAN is he's pimping out his back for advertising so you can buy a new bike.
So I'm going to answer this question again. The Sprint is not supposed to be till second half of 2026. If you're seeing that somewhere else, you're not watching my videos, because I just did a video about the Sprint and the 440T last weekend, and it was clear that the anticipated date is the second half of 2026 unless something happens and it gets moved up. Now, I'm not saying it won't happen sooner or later than that, but that's the latest news from Harley-Davidson in any official capacity. Yes, they can do heated hand grips on soft tails.
Sweet.
So 14.4, new Trike suspension looked interesting. Will make my dealer happy as Trike sales have been sucked since the new fairing. Well, and that was the thing. Some people asked about, like, why did they do this, when and where? We've had some discussion about this, but there is a thing called an adoption rate with consumers. And they felt like Trike consumers were going to be the last ones to want to go to the new fairing, the last ones that were going to say, oh, I don't want that and this and that. So there's a plan to how they rolled this out, and it gives people a time to get used to the new look, the new technology. And it gave people who were on Trikes who didn't want the new one a chance to buy them before they switched over to the new ones. I had someone complain, in a video a couple weeks ago when I was talking about the Trikes and what was coming, and saying, well, I wanted to Trike, but I don't want the new stuff. Now I'm going to have a hard time finding one. I'm like, well, you weren't paying attention. Everybody that's paying attention and doing their research knew this was coming. I've been saying it for months, and it's been on the website for months. It was pretty obvious that they were getting the Helix upgrades. So, you just have to do your homework about what you want, when you want it. And Harley-Davidson's, you can't be perfect on everything or suit everybody, but they've tried, with this rollout of the new fairings and stuff, to do it in a way that they think makes sense for the consumers.
I thought another good touch in the video was that they were showing kind of behind the scenes on how the paint works and that sort of thing. I think that helps give the average Harley guy an idea of just how much R&D is going into these bikes. And that all costs money.
All right, do they bring back the Road King? I'm hearing in chat on YouTube, and that doesn't mean it's legit, 2027 for the Road King. Also, Busted said his wife's hiding the checkbook. That's your mistake for, keeping the money in the checking account. Keep it in your sock drawer. Do all the limiteds from the factory with nav activated. I don't have a lot of information at this time on the limiteds because I didn't get to see them early, but I can tell you on the trikes, they all have nav activated from the factory, except for the Road Glide 3, which for some reason is only activated to international markets. But in domestic, it's not activated. But the Street Glide 3, the CVO Street Glide 3 are activated. So I think there's a good chance that it will be activated on the limiteds. So here's a really, letdown of a comment. Same old hog. You got, bikes. These bikes all just got major revisions in the last 2 or 3 years. I don't know what you expect from any manufacturer, but nobody comes out with all new stuff every year. Harley came out with the whole new touring platform 2.5 years ago with the CVOs, brought to the Street Glides and Road Glides. Now they brought it to the limiteds and trikes. Last year, the Softails got all the love and got new engines and got new tuned suspension and things like that. They're, I hear this comment, but we are the worst customers when we say stuff like that and not acknowledge what they're doing. And if you think Honda and all them other guys are doing revolutionary stuff every year, they're lucky if they change their paint scheme every year.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. You got to keep in mind that, inflation's been kicking everybody's butt last 4 or 5 years. And, to try to bring out something new in this market right now, it's just not going to happen.
Well, and that was my thing. When unfortunately, and it's not blaming Harley-Davidson, but I think it's the market. And if sales are going down, how do you expect a company to throw all their money in R&D when they probably need to be keeping some of it reserved for bad days and things like that, working on more affordable entry-level bikes that might be more popular during this economy. It's just what it is. And there's a comment from Harley-Davidson. I'm assuming that's referring to the lights or something. I just use hand signals. Same old hog. Same old hog. Whoever says that's not riding the new bikes. And that's a great point about riding the new bikes. Last year,
True.
I was here at Renegade and they rolled out the Street Glide Ultra. And I had a guy on my video ran about how, crappy, blah, 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 blah. And then but he didn't really say what was crappy. He just said it was crappy. And so I said, hey, man, you're ranting. Tell me what you don't like. So I can provide that feedback so we can, see whether you missed something. Maybe you didn't see everything, or you don't know everything, or maybe you just don't like what you saw. And we got to talking, and he emailed me. He said, you're right. I was ranting. Here's my problems. And we talked about the things that were missing from the Ultra. And I said, you realize the price is cheap enough that you can add all that same stuff, and then you're just going to be back at the price of the Ultra, before. And he's like, well, that's not a bad point. And I said, have you rode the new bikes? And he said, no. And I said, go ride a new bike and then tell me that for the same price, this isn't a much better bike with the new technology and everything else. He went and rode one, emailed me 2 weeks later and said, I ordered mine.
There you go.
Ride these bikes and then decide if they are better or worth something. And if you haven't rode one, don't tell me it's the same old hog.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Well, man, I have to get up early. Well, I have to get up and go to my day job tomorrow too. But thanks for tuning in, Michigan Moto Cruiser.
Yeah.
Will Harley offer taller P&A windshields that are tinted to match? I saw orange and blue on the CVO. So actually on the Street Glide ST, it's red. And then the blue was shown on the special edition, Liberty Edition. So I didn't know about the blue because I didn't get to see the Liberty Edition until tonight. But the red on the Street Glide ST is 5 inches and it's 4 inches on the Road Glide. So these windshields, I'm sure you can order through parts and accessories and they're going to fit the other bikes. But the only colors I know of are red and blue so far.
Hey, were you able to see the new handlebar on the Street Glide? I commented that it looks like
I got the set on it.
Looks like they finally made a handlebar that you're not going to have to replace right away. It looked badass.
Right. It's 1.5 inches or 1.6 inches wider and 2 inches taller. Somebody's firing up a bike. Hopefully you guys can still hear me.
Oh, yeah.
Back off. But and I don't know, and I need to find out if they can rotate the bar. I think they said that you could rotate the bar to get a little more height out of it. So, you know, I think that's great. I'd like I said in my video tonight, I'd like to ride one for a couple weeks, make some content, not just on the bike, but also I have some very specific road content I'd like to make on that bike in areas like what was filmed tonight or shown tonight to be filmed. And, you know, after an extended demo, I could really tell you how I feel about those new handlebars.
Mike, you're such a slut.
Hey, first time listening, great show. I saw the premiere, loving the new models. Thank you very much. Randy wants to do a demo ride on the new Trike. Can't wait to see the difference in the handling and the new suspension.
Hell yeah, Randy.
What did Busted say to Harley-Davidson that they commented back on? I can't get my chat to scroll tonight. Can't go back up hardly. Oh, if y'all need a place to store a Road Glide ST, I know a guy. Yeah.
There you go.
I bet they don't have any problem with that. Yeah, the fused performance handlebar. It's great to see the change for the Street Glide. Yeah, it was very comfortable. Monkey sat on it, and I've got it in my film, him sitting on it with his hands on the handlebars, and he said, I'm not sure I'd even change them. And he likes tall bars. But this is designed to me of a performance bagger kind of commanding position where you can be aggressive with the bike. That's why they took the time they took to get the Street Glide ST right, was to get the bars right.
Okay.
While we're asking, so everybody's come on my show and now they're trying to pimp Harley-Davidson for stuff. You guys don't do that. They're not going to come back. I could use a set of hard lowers and blue burst and the hardware.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Okay, we have another question. Is there a kit to make the trunk on the new Limiteds removable? And I had somebody else ask that. I think that's a great question. I told them that they were asking in one of my prediction videos. I said, I expect there will be a kit to have quick disconnect on the electrical components like the speakers and the lights, but you're going to give that up when you take that off because that's all built into the Limiteds.
Yeah.
Harley-Davidson.
If they ever figure that out, that'd be a big plus.
You see Harley's answer to road reality about the lowers? It must be a bad connection. And these guys have a great sense of humor. They did a great job. I don't know who's running the chat there, if it's somebody I actually know or not, but they did a great job in the first reveal in the chat and again tonight. And that is something I really thought they've improved at in the last few years, is being more in the chat, but being in there in a funny way, but not but kind of playing back with people when they, are being a little hateful or whatever else. So
yeah.
The Nightster Rift Cruiser's doing it right. Did they take the limiter off the Street Glide ST, or is it still 110? The Street Glide ST is at, I think, 110 still, and the Road Glide ST is maybe slightly higher, like 115 or something like that. I've seen the numbers. It's like basically the same as it has been. My Street Glide is not an ST, and it's limited at 107. According to my test in Mexico.
And Mike, so do you know, is that something that the government's involved in? I almost have to.
It has to do with tire speed ratings and stuff like that, and safety. There is no Pan America CVO this year, so it could only cannibalize Pan America CVO leftover models.
Now, what do you think about them doing the limited? I thought that was pretty cool, where it's fully loaded. Pretty cool. Yeah.
I personally think Harley is doing a lot. I think the colors are looking good. I've been critical of Harley in the past. I called Red Rock Ketchup, and I called billiard gray primer. We still have the dark billiard gray. I'm not the biggest fan of that particular base color, but you know, Vivid Black's $300 extra. It may suck that it's $300 extra, but it's still $300. And I had an explanation for why that is for anybody that wants to know that the quality control on Vivid Black, it's a lot harder to get that right with no scratches. Black shows any imperfections a lot more than other colors. So there's actually a higher cost to painting and having Vivid Black than the billiard gray. That's why it costs more, because there really is a true cost to the production and how many parts they have to redo to make it right and everything else. I get to top it out at 45 the other day. I don't know does anybody know if the inner fairing is painted on the limiteds? I expected it was, but I have not seen anything for sure on that since I didn't get access to the limiteds early. Now, Cruzy's got JS. They just got them some Pan America, so there may be some Pan America builds coming on the Cruzy channel as well. So it is an interesting thing that some people have commented, and I've noticed the Street Glides felt like they got all the love this year. Street Glide for the limited edition enthusiast paint set. Street Glide got an ST, but we don't have a Road Glide CVO, and we don't have a CVO Road Glide Limited. Any fairings are not painted on limiteds. I can tell you that the CVO Street Glide ST has, as Professional Monkey likes to call it, the proper eyeshadow underneath the headlight. They did paint the headlight trim to match on the ST model.
I think that's a good touch.
So I hope you guys, I don't know how long you guys want to go, if there's more stuff. Chapter 3 at Bike Week. I don't know what's where Chapter 3 is going to be or what. I don't know. I assume there would be additional chapters. I think maybe like an icon model could be another chapter. We still have to see one of those. We got enthusiast collections tonight, but we don't know about an icon model still. And then if the Sprint makes it before model year 27, then that would be a chapter also, in my opinion. And the lowers look sharp. Yeah, they look good with the lights in them. I got to see those. You know, I'm not a big trike guy, and I don't talk about trikes on the channel a lot, but my dad rides a trike, and it's a kit. And the suspension is crap. It's terrible. He's had problems with it. I've given him takeoff shocks. Yeah, he can't get support for it. You know, he bought the trike used already as a kit, and nobody wants to talk to him about working on the suspension or anything else at any dealership or anywhere else. And so I think there are some advantages to a factory trike like what Harley-Davidson's doing. And I really think people don't realize how big a deal this suspension is, the new motor for the trikes, the center cooling I'm a big fan of, you know, less unsprung weight, more travel, all these things. And there's more stuff. I can't remember it all. I couldn't fit it all in my video. I thought Harley-Davidson did a really good job of keeping the Liberty bikes under wraps this year. Those did not, you know, leak out until like kind of the last minute. I'd heard about them. They're not enough to make a video. And then they showed up, kind of mentioned them in their YouTube description the other day, and I caught on to it and knew that, you know, that we were getting something for sure. No Artie Stars tonight. I was a bit shocked that he would. I was a bit shocked that he would show. I was not shocked. I mean, we didn't used to see the CEOs in launch videos. I heard that was more of a Jochen preference. He wanted to be in those things. I don't know that you should expect to see CEOs in promo videos all the time. And I think it's probably a good thing, maybe a good sign that Artie didn't feel he needed to be front and center. He doesn't need to be the spokesperson for Harley-Davidson. You know, his role is different than that. So,
yeah.
Paul is very, very knowledgeable of the bikes, the guy that was in this video and in the last video. I've got to meet Paul multiple times now and talk to him and work with him. And Paul is extremely knowledgeable. He's been with Harley-Davidson for a long time, worked in different departments, worked in product development for a while. So he worked on future products before he was in charge of PR. So, Paul's a great spokesperson for the brand. He used to be in some of the older videos, and he's, I'm glad to see him back in these videos. And, I think he does a really good job of trying to give people the highlights of what they need to know.
I think that's a good sign of a good leader. Let your people do their job. This is Paul's world as PR, and so I don't have a problem with it at all.
Yeah, I mean, and would everybody have known who Jochen was if he hadn't showed his face in videos and made, been so vocal at times of things he said that might not have been in the best interest of the company? I don't know. No teaser for chapter 3 so far.
I think I'm speaking for everybody. What I would love to see Artie do is show up at some of these rallies, make him in dealerships. Let that be his focus. I think he could make a bigger impact doing that than a video.
He was at Daytona in October, but he wasn't out meeting people as far as I know, but he was at Destination Daytona at the dealership, learning about the dealership's side of these types of events and stuff like that. I think he's very focused on what his role is, and that is the business side. And I think Bill Davidson's more likely the guy you're going to see at rallies. He's the brand ambassador. He's in charge of as a special advisor. He's probably the guy we're going to see and talk, shake hands with, and give our feedback to. And he's going to share that with Artie. And Artie's going to focus on the business side and not the culture side. He's not going to try and pretend to be something he's not.
Yeah.
Thank you for tonight. You are very welcome. Thank you for setting this up as always. Very welcome. I just wished we'd had bikes to show you guys tonight. More bikes than we had. They I think were expecting a Liberty edition, and the truck didn't make it. It was, as of this morning, it was supposed to be here today, and something happened. So,
hey, maybe it stopped at your house and you've got a little present waiting for you when you get home.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But I think, we will definitely continue to do these things when there's reveals. We've cut back a little bit on the lives. Me and Steve haven't done a live in a couple months since the last reveal, really. And we'll still do them occasionally, but we're trying to do them more pointed, not just me and him bullshitting, but when we have something that's really valuable to talk to you guys or show you. So, just keep watching, but we'll definitely do events like this. Just have to see what we have time for. Also, I've been super busy the last couple of months putting content out for you guys. I've been doing 2 and 3 videos a week.
Yeah, you've been crushing it.
Well, I hope everybody enjoys the video tonight. It's a little longer than usual for me, 20 minutes, but I had a lot to pack in there. And then I'll have another video coming out Friday or Saturday for you guys. It's more of a fun behind the scenes kind of video. I'm interested to see what everybody's take on it is. It's a little different style for me. I don't do a lot of like vlogging on the site, and I did in this one a little more. So we'll see how you guys like it. Thank you very much, sir. Great to share the excitement. What bikes are coming to this bike is coming to the shop. I've got a 2024 that I've still got stuff that I haven't even showed you guys, upgrades I've done. It'd be tough for me to like, upgrade right now. And financially, I'm not in a spot right now where I could do it. So I'm not going to bullshit you guys. That's why I asked for an extended demo, and it'll help me make up my mind and be sure it's the right thing. And I can share that with you guys. And, we got a while before I got all summer to try and figure something out before they run out of these things. The special edition, I like it, but I don't know that I prefer it over the Street Glide ST. The Street Glide ST has been my dream bike since this, for several years now, and it's here. And if they only do it for 3 or 4 years or something like that and quit, and I don't buy one, I'm going to kick myself in the ass. So I got to try and figure that out or make my peace with it. And yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Cycle Showcase is Super Bowl weekend. I will be at Cycle Showcase. Steve will be there. We'll be there on Saturday. So we'll see you there. Make sure you holler at us, Busted. Maybe we'll meet up, have a drink, have some lunch, something.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sparky. For anybody that's not subscribed, we'd love to have you. I want to say thank you. The channel hit 25,000 just before Christmas, so that was not. That really wasn't a goal until we got close, and I'm like, hey, we could. This is doable by the end of the year. So we kind of pushed it a little bit, and it happened. And I'm really thankful for everybody that subscribed to the channel, supports and watches the videos. And I don't expect everybody to watch every video. Watch whatever video appeals to you. That's kind of always been my motto. I don't think somebody that subscribes has got to watch every video. I make a lot of stuff. Some of it's how to put a shock in is not going to appeal to everybody. All right, Steve, are you still there with me? You reading the comments? Your eyes are moving.
Yep, I'm just hanging out here. People have asked some good questions. I'm looking forward to a big 2026. Got big plans. I'm fired up.
Yeah, I've got some plans. I think there'll be some. Oh, sounds like they sold the bike tonight. Sweet.
Pull the trigger, baby.
There will be some limited content should be coming in a few months, some test rides and things like that. So, there's going to be some new bike content, some first looks, some of that stuff the next few months. We'll share that with you guys, and I'll just keep you posted, and we'll keep doing what we can do to bring you all the new Harley stuff. All right, Steve, you got anything else before we sign off here? And I'm going to pack up. I don't know how late they're going to stay open here tonight.
I just want everybody to go out and have a great year of riding, and hopefully I'll run into some of you guys, and we can share a laugh.
Yep. Yeah, Travis. I mean, they were supposed to be here. You never know. There could have been maybe extenuating circumstances. Maybe there was mechanical failure of the truck or something like that. I mean, they were, as of this morning, they were scheduled to be here. We just don't know what happened, but it's being looked into. Yeah. And, again, for people that talk about dealerships and how good or bad their dealership is, all I can tell you is that Renegade tries to do something every weekend. I mean, they have Saturday scoots once a month where they do rides with customers on Saturday mornings, even in the winter. Then they do events like this, but every weekend they got something going on. In July, they have a big benefit for the local no-kill shelter, and they do a ride called Hogs for Dogs. We do stuff for International Female Ride Day here. They do a lot of stuff. So, I mean, that's what I look for in a dealership that I want to be associated with, that are not just selling bikes, but putting on events for bikers, just to come socially hang out. Brandon's over here walking by with a cookie and a soda. So this is Brandon Flack. You guys can find him on Instagram. And he's also a salesman here. He does a lot of riding, got a Fast Johnny and a Pan America. Check him out if you're on Instagram, Brandon Flack. All right, guys, I think I'm ready to sign out of here and pack some of this stuff up and visit with a few people, look at a few things, maybe record a little footage before we leave. I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and we will do it again. Oh, Busted Knuckles, there was free beer. There was free beer here. They had Jimmy John sandwiches, cookies, and beer and soda. And not just cheap beer, Yinling and Mick Ultra.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. Now you know why I'm hanging out. Anyone going to the Branson rally? Me, I'm going to the Branson rally. I've already talked to Nick. We haven't worked out the details, but he said he's got some stuff that some planning he's doing that will involve me here with Renegade, but I think we will be at the rally as well. If you didn't know, the Hog Rally for the national level is in Branson, Missouri this year. So a national Hog Rally, means people will come from all over the United States to Branson. Guess when it happens, Steve? Labor Day weekend. In the beginning of September, before Bike Fest.
Might have to venture down there.
Come hang out, see what it's all about.
Let's check it out,
all
baby.
Right, guys. Well, I've never signed off from a live with 100 people in it still, but I think we're going to tonight.
Hey, thanks
All
for
right.
watching, guys.
Yes, very much. And thanks, Harley-Davidson, if you're still there, for hanging out with us and answering questions.
That was badass.
Now go watch my video. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Peace.